Hi, my name is Jason with Art of Creation Homestead, and today we're going to talk about how you can grow food 365 days a year with zero land at all. Today we're going to show you we've got a raised bed planter. It is a planter you can find on Amazon or on any kind of farm supply store. Most people have this style of planter. There's several styles you can get. Just do a search for raised garden planter, raised bed planter, and you can find several kinds. And there'll be different heights, widths, depths, and all those things. And you need to think about what you're looking to grow for what you want, and for what size you want. These are 16 by 41, and they're about 10 to 12 inches deep, so we got good depth. And what we're going to do today is we're going to plant carrots in this, and then we're going to talk about what you can plant after you're done with carrots or whatever you're planting, and to continue to grow food all year long. And you'll do a thing called succession planting, which is essentially planting one crop, letting it be done, and when it's finished in the middle of the summer, plant another crop that's a fast-growing crop, and then when it's done, plant another one as well. That's succession planting, and sometimes it might require you to have seeds started already or whatnot. This one, not necessarily, but for today, we're gonna grow carrots, and we've got the rows already lined up to save time, but carrots need 3 inches, need to be 3 inches apart. So with this bed, you can get them 5 in each row, and you can get 14 rows. So you're going to have 70 carrots that you can grow without any space at all, without any land at all, on your patio or on your balcony. We're going to grow, let's see, this one right here. We're going to grow 2 kinds. We've got the new Corotas. We've got these from Baker Creek. The height of this is a little short for me, but for you vertically challenged people, it may be just fine. But for me, I gotta lean over a little bit and take my time. So we'll see if I can do this and talk at the same time. I don't know if we can or not. There's one. You don't need to plant one too deep. About just below the surface of the soil. See, they're even hard for me to grab. There's 2. You have to get around this sucker. If you plant too many in one spot, don't worry. Yeah, see, there's 2 again. You can always thin them later. Can't be too obsessive. I see I would put too many in that one too. Can't be too obsessive, but at the same time, try. You know, it's a balance for somebody like me. I am an obsessive individual, and I think everything has got to be just perfect all the time, and I'll get frustrated if it's not. It's something you got to battle against, because hey, look, you're not perfect. Think you are? Go check yourself, because you ain't. You mess up just like everybody else. And you just have to realize sometimes that, hey, it's going to be alright. It's going to be okay. See, I'm putting too many in there as it is, but can't sweat it sometimes. Yep, there's too many in that one. And it's going to be alright. As long as you get about 5 in each row, 5 spots evenly spaced, then you're going to be okay. See, there's 2 in that one as well. Sometimes it ain't so bad if you get 2 in a spot, because if one doesn't germinate, maybe the other one will. Got a little backup plan. This is a very financially efficient thing to do. Carrot seeds are pretty cheap. You can get anywhere from 7 to 800 to 1,000 seeds in a pack for $3 or so. Sometimes, like Baker Creek, their seeds are a little higher than others, but at the same time, their seeds are a little better than others. Sometimes you gotta remember, you get what you pay for with seeds. And if you get a rare carrot seed, then you might have to pay a little bit more for lesser seeds. The Kyoto Reds are only like 300 seeds, but we're gonna plant them anyways because they're delicious. But so you can, like, we're only planting, you know, if you plant 2 in each spot, you know, you're only going to plant about 140 seeds here. But you can get, like I said, 700, 800, 1,000 seeds in a pack. And so you can plant several rounds of carrots like this for just a few dollars. And if you're looking to buy one of these things and fill it full of dirt, you can maybe put off by the price. Maybe they're a little higher than what you want to pay for. Putting good dirt in it, maybe a little more than what you want to spend, but you got to remember that you are investing in yourself investing in your health, investing in your self-reliance, and in your independence. And sometimes that's a good dang investment right there. And you just don't need to worry about it. If you got a little extra money to spend, you get that Trump check, hey, invest in yourself a little bit once in a while. It's cheaper than the doctor, more time efficient than the doctor. Taking time out of your day to have to go to the dang doctor for something gets on my nerves, so I don't go most of the time if I can help it. But I'd much rather be spending that time planting a garden, planting food. So there you have it. I'm not saying doctors are wrong, I'm just saying I don't like them. Sorry if you're a doctor. But investing in one of these suckers is a good investment. Fill it full of dirt. Now, this one right here, we had to amend this soil for carrots, and I've probably planted more than I meant to for this. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I just got it done right. Anyways, you got to amend the soil. By saying amend the soil, I mean carrots, believe it or not, don't really need a whole lot of nitrogen, if any at all. What they do need is potassium and phosphorus. So how do you get those? Well, you could get a good, in general, all-purpose organic fertilizer for vegetables, and that'd probably be just fine. Or you can go out and get kelp meal for organic source of potassium, which it says potash or potash. I don't know how the heck you want to say it. P-O-T-A-S-H. That's what I'd say. So it's potassium. And then you can get bone meal for organic phosphorus. It also has organic calcium in the same way. And if you want a little nitrogen, each of those have a little bit of nitrogen in them, and that'll give you all the nitrogen you need for carrots. Carrots, actually, are funny. They need a little warmer soil to germinate, and for the best tasting, sweetest carrots, need to be a little cool. So maybe not in the heat of summer, but early spring and in fall, you can grow carrots. You can grow good carrots pretty well. So now we're planting I didn't show you, Kyoto Reds. These are delicious carrots you get from Baker Creek. I ain't seen them nowhere else but Baker Creek. And I'll put them right here for now. So they're fine seeds, so just drop them in best you can. And just deal with it. You don't need them too deep. Get them too deep, they may not germinate. When I say not too deep, I mean just barely covered. Now these carrots, when you're done, you plant them. So here we are, it's April 11th. Probably could have planted them a little bit earlier. Sometimes you can't get around to it. That's the way it is. Plant them now. And then, so let's give them a week to germinate, we'll say. And then after germination, another 10 weeks for maturity, thereabout. Got one under my fingernail, heck, oh well. And anyway, so when they're done, they'll be done here. They'll be fully grown and mature here at the end of June. So at the end of June, what can you plant? Well, what I would suggest, what we're going to do, is get a fast-growing bush bean. You get a fast-growing bush bean for some green beans. This hillbilly loves some green beans. You can't give me too many green beans. I don't care. We'll can as many as we can can. And give some away or whatever if we get more than what me and my wife can handle. But we love green beans, so I'll just keep planting. We'll get a fast-growing green bean like we're gonna put, I think, if we can get the seeds, some contender bush bean in these, and we'll fill them up. See how many we can get. We've never done them in these before. We've done them in raised beds and in the ground, but never in this one. And for bush beans, the square foot gardening method says you can get 9 bush bean plants in a square foot, so it'd be 4 inches apart. I'll go a little thicker than that. You could probably get 12 to 16 really truly in this kind of dirt, loose dirt, good depth, and everything. So then those containers are probably the fastest growing bush bean you can get. So what we're going to do with them, once they're done, so they'll be 40 to 55 days, somewhere 40 to 50 days. Other bush beans can take 55, 56 days. So that's 8 weeks of growing. I'll give you a week to germinate. So that's 9 weeks. So at the end of June, you can go 9 weeks from there, and that'll get you to, well, let's see, get you to the middle of August. Get you to the middle of August, we'll say, early August. And from there, you can probably get another round of carrots in. So that'd be another 70 carrots that you could get in one of these things. And that will take you to middle of November. So now what you want to do at that point, since it might be getting a little cool depending on where you're at, we're in zone 6A, 6B, right on the line, we'll say 6A, gardening zone 6A. And here, you know, you'll get those, you might get a late frost there, which is not going to hurt your carrots. Carrots will appreciate that. It might make them a little bit sweeter. So if you start your carrots in middle of August or thereabout, and it'll go to about end of November, you can cover them with some form of garden fabric, some form of frost protecting fabric, or a short tunnel. We'll put a link in the description for different kinds of product that you can use to cover your vegetables in. And then at that point though, if you're looking to continue to grow food in this thing, which you very easily can, especially if you're facing the sun, if you're facing south, or if you're going to get some good sun on it, you very easily can. So then at that point, what you're going to want to do is things you can plant at that point are like kale, lettuce, spinach, Swiss chard, things of that nature that can really handle some cool weather and grow well in cool weather anyways. You will want to start those seeds indoors or in a small greenhouse of some kind about 3 or 4 weeks before you're ready to plant them outside, before you're ready to harvest your carrots. So if you're going to do that, you know, we'll say mid-October-ish, you can start your seeds in cups or in some form of container indoors or in a greenhouse, let them grow and to get well established in that. And then after you harvest your carrot seed, or after you harvest your carrots, you can then transplant your greens at that point and plant them inside of this. And if you want to cover them, if you feel like you need to cover them with something because of cold weather, because of intense frost or freezes, you can cover them, and they will be there growing or staying dormant all year long, and then, or all winter long. And then come spring, you know, early March-ish, whenever you start to warm up a little bit, they will continue to grow undamaged, unharmed underneath that frost protector or whatever, however you want to grow them. They will continue to grow, and you will have a jump start on getting some good greens early spring, up until you are ready to possibly plant carrots again. So in this one thing, a 16 by 41 container, you can grow 140 carrots. You can grow a lot of green beans. I couldn't tell you how much, because that's just dependent on how well they do. But a nice bit of green beans, probably, you know, at least 3 or 4 meals worth, I would say. And then you can grow greens all winter long in one small raised bed planter. There's no reason not to. If you buy one of these, you have some space, don't waste it. It's open ground on a patio or balcony that should be wasted, that you can have growing food right here in a small space and have more self-reliance that way, which is, by the way, how God intended it. I'm Jason with Our Creation Homestead. God bless.